So for chapter 4, the first thing we were to discuss was the concept of business globalization. So basically, this is about how trades, investments, information, different ideas, cultural, social ideas, how all of that stuff sort of flows in between countries. This is very important and very big when it comes to this kind of thing because it can lead to interdependence between countries. This interdependence is very valuable because it allows countries to be able to focus on the strengths that they have and what they are able to produce, and be able to have their weaknesses supported by other countries. So kind of like a give and take sort of thing. It can create jobs. That's a big one. Help lower costs when it comes to producing and manufacturing. So those are just two big things when it comes to that kind of thing. Interdependence is very valuable because it helps all the economies grow. The next thing was to explain the concept of a global mindset in the 3 dimensions. So basically, a global mindset is a manager's ability to appreciate and influence individuals, groups, and organizations with different cultures and things like that, and sort of be able to implement that within the business world. You want to be able to have these relationships and connections with other countries, and it's all about trying to maximize that. There are 3 different dimensions when it comes to the global mindset. You have your psychological, social, and intellectual. So your psychological is more about your willingness to engage in the global activities. Are you positive towards this? Do you support it, sort of thing? Are you willing to engage in that to take your business to the next level and improve your stuff while also, providing something for another country as well? The social is more about your ability to sort of interact with other countries and potential partners for making business partnerships in other countries. And then the cognitive aspect would be how much do you know about your industry sort of around the world. So an easy example that comes to my head would be would the product that you have, would that work in another country? Or how popular is it over there? Do you need to tweak it a little bit? Those sort of things that come into mind when you think about the cognitive aspect. And the last part was explain the traditional process of going global. So there are 3 ways of going global. You have your exporting, your global outsourcing, and your partnerships. So the first one, exporting, this is basically you produce your product in your home country and then you ship it off to other countries to sell there. So you're able to maximize who you're selling to and be able to profit off that. And in return to the other countries, so you're gaining that profit maximization, and they're gaining something that maybe they didn't have before in that particular country. So it's kind of a give and take there. Then we have global outsourcing. This is when we basically have our product produced in another country. This can be done for multiple reasons. One of the big ones is cheaper labor. When it comes to that, sometimes it's a lot more expensive to pay your workers in your home country. So sometimes other countries will have a cheaper minimum wage. So you're able to spend less money and be able to maximize. So what does that do for them? It provides them jobs that they wouldn't have had, while also giving you the opportunity to make a little more money as well. Then you have partnerships. These are often the fastest and cheapest, and often the least risky way to go international, because you're basically working together with another company within that same sort of industry, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in the same industry either. A good example of partnerships would be a joint venture. Now there are challenges when it comes to starting to go global. You have your legal, political challenges. Oftentimes there's new or different laws or rules within that country that you have to worry about. That's a big one. Perfect example would be other countries wanting to produce in America, and there's different more strict climate laws, how much CO2 you can release when you manufacture your product. Another one is the socio-cultural one. This challenge is about, there's different social cues. Oftentimes, basically, people tend to think their own culture is better than the one that they're in. So this can be big, because sometimes people don't want other people's products in their country or to be produced. It's sort of a weird thing that people have, but that is something that businesses need to worry about. And then the last one would be communication. This is big because you have different, obviously, language barrier, but also different social cues, different way that they speak, not necessarily in terms of language, but different, slang, would be a one term, just a different way of talking. But that was basically everything in chapter 4.